Alright, let's keep it all the way a buck for a second. You're not watching Sacramento Kings games. They haven't been to the playoffs since most of you were kids. They don't have a lot of national TV games. And DeMarcus Cousins is long gone from that franchise, so you're not even checking to see if he got thrown out of last night's game. But because you're not paying attention to this franchise, you might not know that they ran into one of the best rookie picks this season. Yes, a young point guard by the name of Haliburton that was originally projected to go in the top 5, maybe 7 at worst, and ended up falling to the Kings at number 12. Reese currently averages 12 points and 5 assists in around 28 minutes per game, and when adjusted for per 36, that actually comes out to 15 and 6. He's also currently shooting 51% overall and 48% from 3, with a 66% true shooting percentage. However, the numbers are not the most impressive part of his game yet because he is currently coming off the bench. Sacramento just paid De'Aaron Fox hundreds of millions of dollars to be their primary ball handler, so that often puts Reese in a position where he's got to pick his spots and where he can be successful, and also forces him to play off ball, which turns out he can do really well. I've watched every Kings game so far, and his best game was definitely when De'Aaron Fox went out with a hamstring injury, and so for the first time this season really, he got to control an entire game as the ball handler, or for an extended time at least. So in today's video, I want to break down some of what he does to be successful and why the Kings are such a different team without him, because he has missed 2 games so far after taking a nasty spill in Houston, and there's a very clear reason this team looks different with him on the floor than without him. This is a possible rookie of the year. So facilitation is the best thing that he does for this team. That's the biggest difference you notice when he's off the floor, and this looks like a really simple pass to the corner, but this is the easy looks that he's getting his teammates every time he's in the game. So he's gonna get a pick from Bagley right here, and look at the way his head is turned. It's turned towards Bagley the entire play. The entire defense, everybody on the Nuggets right here is focused on Bagley's role. That's where he's looking. Meanwhile, he's going to an open shot in the corner. And it's really simple things like this, but it's excellent. Pretty basic no look, but this is just one of the things that he does really well to keep the defense on his heels. On this play right here, he's able to bail out with some simple misdirection, and that's just gorgeous. Denver's defense fell asleep a little bit right here, but again, this is pick action with Bagley, so of course, that's where Jokic thinks the pass is going, that's what he's blocking, and that's what Reese originally goes for. It looks like he's trying to get up and over Jokic, and in air, he's able to change that to a dime bounce pass. Once again, keeping the defense on his heels, his entire demeanor says attack, but it's facilitation. Nobody on defense is thinking about the simple Bagley pass because this looks like he's going up for a floater. You see right here, I think Dozier, he was even trying to take a charge, which would have ended up being a block, but he's pretty much already beat Jokic. That's a free 2 points. I may or may not have already mentioned it in the intro part, but people said that his shot wasn't going to work, wasn't going to translate to the NBA. So far on 4.5 attempts a game, he is shooting 48% from 3. One of the reasons his assist to turnover ratio has been so fire so far is because he could do these bailout passes. The man was out of bounds with nowhere to go here. He'd almost painted himself into a corner here. The man is dribbled into help. He's dribbled towards the baseline, so he's out of bounds. He could have made a number of incorrect decisions here. He could have tried to go to the corner, which, that could have been picked off, or it just wouldn't have been an open shot. Could have thrown it right in the middle to Whiteside, also probably would have gotten picked off. Delivers it to the one person that is pretty much perfectly open at a really wild angle, and that's just a talent of his. Lob passes, very simple. If you're not going to cover the roll man with Reese on the floor, it's always 2 points. See right here, the Suns defense is totally geared towards his drive. Again, looking like he's going to attack maybe a floater, and nobody's got the dunker. Again, late on the roll man, draw the defense, dot. And once again, he's done what a lot of people don't like, leaving your feet on a pass, but he hasn't really turned this over much at all. Really, that's the best way to deliver that pass. If you just stop and throw it, it probably wouldn't have been his pinpoint. Very quick and precise recognition of a mistake here. I don't know why 2 people showed to the corner, but yeah, this is really a Suns breakdown, and he sees this one with the perfect pinpoint pass down to the middle. But also, again, for that shot that people said wasn't going to work, he's been hitting that. So this is traditionally an on-ball god, a point guard, but he can be on the floor as a 2. I don't think I've showed much of this, but this is also why he's able to get so much assists with penetration, because they're always fearful of this as well. He could be going for a floater. He has a very nice touch around the rim, and so just as easily as he could be passing it, he could be attacking. You could be giving up points. As a matter of fact, on this play, he might have had Hassan Whiteside as a roller here because all the defense was geared towards his attack, but that's just a really nice touch. If he wanted to dump that down to Whiteside, there's a way that could have happened, but this is how he's constantly keeping pressure on the defense. Once again, with the touch and finishing around the rim right here, he's gonna reject the screen, spin, strength, dexterity, finish. That's a wild ass finish. I don't know if he called this one, but shooting around 50% from the field so far, and a lot of it has been great finishes, great floaters, great touch around the rim. Literally always a threat on his way to the rim. Hey, nothing serious to break down here. This is just funny. This man almost threw his shoulder out on that assist. Look at this shit. He threw this like a baseball pitch. Also, on the topic of playing him as a 2, look how he moves off ball here. He's going to get Galloway pretty much off balance before he starts his attack. He's going to do the same thing going baseline, by the way, and deliver the same exact pass he delivered earlier. So once again, for a rookie, this is masterful off ball. Yank, left, right. Yeah, Langston Galloway is already off balance. He's already beat. He was beat before he had the ball. For that reason, help had to come. He freed up Harrison Barnes for an easy 2 points. Very simple things like this are the obvious difference of when he's out with injury and when he's on the floor. The Kings are a pretty good team with him on the floor. It's really going to be interesting to see his career going forward through the years because guys are not going to be going under screens much longer, and that's really going to open up more attack spots for him. Especially as a rookie, they're going to be testing the shot. They're going to be making him improve it, and through the game so far he has, and as long as he's making it. Pick and roll action here is going to take defenders towards Whiteside. He's going to leave his feet for a simple dot to the corner. Is this about the 3rd or 4th time in this video alone he's left his feet for a pass and it's been pinpoint? And check this out here. I honestly don't know why. He's got 3 Nuggets defenders. He's got 3 Nuggets defenders trying to defend against a drive or a pass, and he still gets the pass. This guy is just terrorizing teams in pick and rolls. That time, Richaun Holmes pretty much slipped, and teams are so fearful of this guy's floater, of this guy's attack. Richaun Holmes, defender, is completely defending against the floater here, and instead it's a float pass. He really could have done anything he wanted right there, and the result was points for the Kings. I may or may not have also mentioned that I could easily see him in the steals leader category one day. There's not a lot of defensive highlights for him right now, but he jumps passing lanes really well. That time he was defending Jokic, and he was able to really stop an easy 2 points because that was a mismatch. But people might be worried about him on the defensive end because of his size, and yeah, he doesn't have a lot of weight on him yet, but he knows how to read. And this is the one right here. This is when I knew it was real. This was in his 4th game. This man is already basically taking logo shots. After the game, he pissed people off with this when he tweeted people said the shot wasn't going to translate, and it's early, but so far it's translating. You don't necessarily pull from the logo unless you're absolutely confident your shit works. Check out the cross-court skip out of the double team here. Dot. This was actually a pretty nice trap by Denver. Michael Porter Jr. didn't have a lot of other places to go here, but again, you're doubling a player with excellent court vision. And so now we're to the Houston game, and on this play, you're going to see DeMarcus Cousins actually does try to cover the roller, so no alley-oop, but just a nice soft finish off the glass. This is only going to get better as his career goes on because they know his threat. By this point, they know his threat as a lob passer, so Cousins isn't trying to let that happen. But again, it's how many things can you take away if his primary defender is behind him? Like, what can you really do at this point? He's going to get something. The Kings are going to get something out of that. Nothing particular about this play. This one is just hilarious because he told me about this, and now I'm realizing what he was talking about. He said John Wall was coming at him 1,000 miles per hour, and he just took the bailout foul. He said nobody was about to make an example out of him on their comeback, because I just made that video about John Wall's comeback. You see right here, it looks like he's skipping frames as I'm kind of like fast forwarding. Man, it's going so fast. Reese was like, yeah, no, I just went ahead and gave that one up. You ain't about to embarrass me. Nothing tangible comes out of this play, but again, just reading as a defender. Cousins probably has an easy 2 points here, but he has to spin again because of Reese's activity. Again, this is what I'm talking about with reading, and it actually turns into a turnover because of that. You help your team regardless of if you're able to lock somebody up, and even on ball, he's pretty decent right now. More pick and roll action. This time Richaun Holmes is not going to get free enough for a dunk, but instead he's just going to go to the bounce pass. Again, facilitation, simple floater. Great choice there as he's got Eric Gordon and Cousins fully committed to him, but you're obviously probably not going to get 2 points getting Richaun Holmes that deep in the paint on Cousins because he still had time to recover. And yeah, that's his specialty. There we go. Here goes some of the steals I was talking about. That time, see, beautiful read. That could have easily resulted into some Rocket points. Instead, it's going to turn into a turnover in a close game, and it's going to be Kings points. See right here, he's guarding against the Cousins pick. He's looking at the cutter, and he sees the open man. And before he even knows the pass is actually thrown, like, he starts to move on this before John Wall really throws the pass. Look, John Wall is getting ready to throw it. I'm not really sure what Reese can see here, but he's already gone. He's already gone for it. That's a simple read. He saw the open man and knew where it was going. This is what I mean when I say he might be a steals leader one day. This is what's going to really suck for teams, is having to guard his pick action when somebody actually pops. So Belly is obviously a shooter, and that's going to leave the paint wide open. That's going to really suck because a lot of the time you're looking for a pass threat or you're trying to blow up an action going to the rim. This time it's just him and it's wide open. Oh, here goes another steal read, by the way. It doesn't even look like he's in the picture here. Yank, that's mine. Thank you. That's 2 times he's gotten Eric Gordon, who looked like a wide open wing shooter. Now, this is actually the play he got hurt on. People don't know he's playing with a couple of injuries right now, and he tried to crown John Wall. He did. Oh god damn, I didn't realize how bad that fall was. See, when I was watching it live, yeah, see, oh my god, yeah, that one could have been really dangerous. It was his hip, his collarbone. But he'd been saying like he needs his first NBA dunk, which he got the other night, and he tried to crown John Wall for the culture on his first one. Wall on his comeback wasn't gonna let that happen, not by a rook. I don't have his fourth quarter stats on hand, but the Kings have gone to him for multiple important shots, and he's delivered multiple times in his first 6 games, so watch out for that as well. And finally, his most recent game, which I think was his best. This is just a poor pass right here by Zach LaVine, so not necessarily a read. Drawing 2 to the rim, yank. Pinpoint behind the back, hits a moving target. He doesn't get the assist here because Buddy Hield missed, but this is wildly impressive. Just full speed, pinpoint dot behind the back. That should have been a dunk and an assist, but once again in the pick and roll, putting extreme pressure on the defense to cover his drives, alley. And if you notice so far, like he's done like 3 of these. His alleys from this side, they always look like the floater. So if you go and look at some of the plays where he actually does take a floater, they look just like his passes. So I assume that also keeps the defense, that also keeps them guessing, because you just never really know which he's going for. And so you might be going for a block, deflection, and more often than not, it's led to 2 Kings points. Oh, hey, look, there's a play that's going to show exactly what I'm talking about. Pick here and floater from the free throw line. That touch is crazy. See what I'm talking about? Now, this time, of course, Bagley is not in position for an alley, but this is literally what his lob passes look like. You really just can't tell which one he's going for. I personally think this is his best pass of the season so far, and there'll be many more. Simple pick action. Looks like I'm going in for a layup. Nope. Put a little sauce on it. Check it out, though, because he was absolutely here. He was deep enough for a layup, for a floater, and so the big man is neutralized. And he keeps his attack position the whole time, looking at the goal the whole time, and just lets it fly and gets right out of Richaun Holmes' way. That is 2 Kings points. This is beautiful recognition here. He's floating around the baseline. He could have been selfish right there and actually tried to go in for a bucket. And he wastes 0 time with decision making. This again is one of the reasons the Kings are just so good with him on the floor, because the ball moves. The ball moves and it doesn't take time to move. See, right here, he can actually put the ball on the floor and attack. Now, of course, there's a lot of black shirts down there, but it didn't take him any time to identify that. Just, it's gone. That's 3 points. The Haliburton Richaun Holmes pick and roll duo is actually kind of deadly. I don't have the exact stats, but it seems to always result in either him scoring or Richaun Holmes scoring. See right here, draw 2 in. And once again, the misdirection, if you'll notice on these passes, he rarely ever looks where he's going. Clearly, he can see Richaun Holmes here, but as he's driving, he just continues to look forward. Keep the big man, keep Wendell Carter off balance. Carter's looking in his direction this whole time, and then his defender has got, yeah, that's food. That's wide open. Here's a little variation with him off the pick and roll that just screws the Bulls defense all up. It looks like he's going up and then does go up. He actually confused me for a second, not gonna lie. No, because right here, what you saw in the couple of plays we looked at is this is normally a floater. This is normally a 1 motion floater. So it looks like he's kind of gonna go up with it. He froze everybody there and got himself a wide open late when he maybe could have thrown it to Bagley there. Yeah, I'm actually pretty convinced he could have had a Bagley lob there, but he froze everybody with that. Already talked about his 3-point shooting. You've seen a logo shot, and yeah, this one is from the hash. He got the Bulls twice with the same exact play here, the little freeze and then the layup. And by the way, this is en route to him scoring 14 fourth quarter points, I believe, 15 fourth quarter points, something like that. And they needed every one of them. This was a close game. Like I said, he's so far as a clutch player. Talking about him jumping passing lanes earlier, this is on ball defense. That is mine, cookies, and he's going to get his first dunk here. He'd been looking for that. So again, talking about his weight on the defensive end earlier, see, he just stays with him perfectly. Telegraphs that. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a steals leader one day. He's not just catch and shoot, by the way. Catches it right here, take dribble, sidestep. Yeah, the shot works. Here goes probably one more variation on the Richaun Holmes pick and roll, fake and then pass. So one time he faked and then went up with it. Actually, he did that twice. And here Richaun Holmes was open, but it was better to get LaVine off balance because he was probably expecting that. LaVine could easily stop right there, jam up that free throw action. Instead, he drags LaVine in further, and that is 2 Kings points. On-ball defense again, by the way. It's not just passing lanes. Gonna get a block out of that one. Don't think it's gonna end up being a turnover yet because he didn't get the recover, but yeah, he went ahead and leaked out here. He was looking for those fast break points, which if they had picked it up, it would have been. And this is what you call game time. 17 seconds, up by 3, fake, same sidestep, fading away on the corner. The shot works, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think there's many questions about it. So there's obviously still a very long time to go. This is a 6-game sample size, but in each of the 6 games, the things that he's brilliant at stick out. This early on, I can at bare minimum say that there are teams that chose other guys over him that needed a point guard that are going to seriously regret it by the time we're at the end of this season. I obviously don't have a crystal ball and can't speak for 10 plus years. Anyways, the rookie class is not that wild right now, and just off of these first few games alone, I can easily say Reese looks like one of the Kings' best players. And depending on how Luke Walton values certain lineups and bench productions, it really should only be a matter of time before he's actually starting, but again, that's all up to coach. They would probably have to play a bit small to start him. But he's off to a great start, and his facilitation is very entertaining to watch, so if you do have access to Kings games, they are worth sitting in on. And if you happen to feel that my videos are worth sitting in on, you can hit the like button, comment, and sub, and also hit the bell next to the channel name if you want notifications every time a new one drops. I appreciate you all watching, and I'll see you on the next one.